Hello, 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 and welcome back. Today is fanfiction day! Yay! I'm very excited. Fanfiction day. I know you guys love these days, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Today we're gonna read Baku Deku. We haven't read Baku Deku in a hot minute, so I thought that we'd do that today. It was actually Nuss's idea, so shout out to my big sister. Love you, sis. Say it back. Love you. She's in here. But I found this very cute one-shot on Archive of Our Own because that's where I just prefer to read my fanfiction, and it is called it's so exciting. I love the ones where it's like sleepy ones where they're like going to sleep. I don't know why. I think something about sleep is just very like sweet. Anyway, it's called Goodnight, I Love You. It was actually published recently. It is by Shippy Writes. Oh, that's a really cute username. It is 2,000 words. It's Baku Deku. There's one chapter because it's a one-shot, and the summary is, Midoriya always had trouble sleeping, but recently a kind soul decided to help him a bit. Who knew it would be Kachan, and who knew it would lead it to them falling asleep in each other's arms? It's a little fluff, a little hurt, a little comfort. You know, we gotta love a little hurt and a little comfort. So let's get right into it, shall we? Midoriya has always had some trouble sleeping at night. Sleep just evaded him. Sometimes he was jealous of Kachan, who fell asleep early and easily, passing out as soon as his head hit the pillow. Somehow though, Midoriya was the morning person between the two. When he was in middle school, the doctor suggested some melatonin pills. The body created it naturally. The pills would help out since he apparently didn't produce enough. His mother bought them that day and he took them at her request. It was just like another pill, hard and tasteless. They were surprisingly effective, sending him to sleep easily. In only a half an hour, the pills would lull him to sleep. It worked for years, until he started living in the UA dorms. Call him irresponsible, but he had always forgotten to pick some up when he went shopping. Once he ran out, it took him at least a week to remember to buy another bottle. Sometimes he didn't want to sleep. Sometimes his dreams were too much. However, recently, he always blacked out, and he always blacked out? Is he good? Oh my god, is Suzuku me? He always blacked out and avoided the sleep demons. He absentmindedly told his friends one day, and got shouts of protests, shipping him off to buy some right away. They were kept in the cabinet in the kitchen, so now his friends were aware when he had some. The day after he took his last pill, there was a new bottle in there to replace it. That's so sweet, wow. Your friend's caring about you? What's that like? Hell, it was an even nicer brand than the one he usually got. These dissolved in his mouth, and they were rather sweet, making him want another. He'd assumed they'd have the same effect, and they did. If anything, they worked faster, which was weird. He didn't question it at the time, but the next time the pills were replaced before the last, his curiosity peaked. Someone was really paying attention, huh? It was odd since he assumed his friends would have told him they got him some melatonin, but these were replaced silently with no note. Perhaps they didn't want it to be known. Over the next couple of months, Midoriya found the new bottles when needed. Recently, a mug of tea could be found in front of the cabinet. Oh my god, Katsuki is so cute. There was no one else nearby, and it was his favorite tea, so he hesitantly took the beverage. He wasn't scolded for it the next day, so he did the same thing. Every time it was left for, he assumed him. It did help him sleep better, admittingly. He couldn't help but wonder who was leaving it for him and buying him the melatonin. Maybe one day he'll find out. Midoriya couldn't sleep. He'd taken the melatonin, he had the tea, he'd turned on the music. Why the hell couldn't he sleep? Someone once told him you can't sleep when someone's thinking about you. But who the is thinking about him at 3 a.m. Katsuki! Sighing, he props himself up on the bed, throwing off the blankets and wow, people must think about me a lot. I can never sleep.
Insomnia finally explained. People stop thinking about me.
Right? Y'all just love me too much. Throwing off the blanket and putting on his slippers, no one else could possibly be awake at this hour. It was so damn late. Stumbling down the stairs, Midoriya yawned, scratching his cheek absent-mindedly. It wasn't until he was in the kitchen that there was another figure in the common room. I just added in another word because it's the way that it made sense, because it didn't make sense the other way. Shoulders slumped and elbows on his knees. He could have been terrified had it not been for the telltale spiky hair the moon showed. Hello? The figure jolted, tossing him a surprised glance before standing up slowly and rubbing his face. What are you doing in here, nerd? I could ask the same of you. Bakugo chuckled at that, wandering into the kitchen and plopping onto the counter. His eyes were tired, as though he hadn't slept in years. Midoriya could only assume that he looked the same. I couldn't sleep, Midoriya finally replied. Came down here on a whim. Didn't you take your pills and drink your tea? Well, yeah, but wait, how did you know about that? I bought the pills and made the drink dip. Alright, I love Katsuki. I love him anyway. I really hurt my chest. That's definitely gonna leave a mark. Midoriya just stared at him for a solid minute. His jaw dropped. Kachan was the kind soul taking care of him. Why do you look so surprised. Think I can't be nice or something? Oh, he scowled, but Midoriya placed a bit of hurt in his burning red eyes. No, I know you can be nice. I mean, you are nice. I forgot that you're nice to me. His chest twisted painfully as he said it, gazing at the ground. He felt bad, knowing that Bakugo was trying to be kind, and all he did was criticize him. He knew Bakugo cared. He knew he could be nice. He knew he changed. But damn if it wasn't hard to forget. What? Do you think I don't care about you or something? You spent a real long time establishing that you didn't. Hard to forget about that sometimes. Wrong thing to say. He watched Bakugo's eyes widen, hands twitching. A fit was to be expected, explosions and curses being thrown about. However, Bakugo just sat still, staring at Midoriya. Finally, he looked away, swallowing before gracefully getting off the counter. Yeah, okay. And with that, he ran upstairs. Oh, that's so sad. That's such a interaction. If Midoriya thought he couldn't sleep before now he was sure he couldn't. Guilt was eating at him from the inside out, and he didn't know what to do about it. He hadn't meant any harm. He couldn't have foreseen Bakugo's reaction. Curse his big mouth. Why did that take me so long to process? Alright, this was enough. He was a hero for All Might's sake. He had to fix this. With determination, he got up out of his bed and marched to Bakugo's room. He knocked on the door lightly, fully expecting to be ignored. What do you want? Can I come in? There was no verbal reply, but the door was unlocked in a few moments. When he went in, Bakugo was on the bed, back towards him. His shoulders were shaking and Midoriya could tell that he was holding himself tightly. He always did that when he cried. Oh, that's so wait, why is Bakugo crying? That hurts me. No, don't cry. What do you need? Midoriya slowly made his way to Bakugo, sitting on the edge of the bed. Gently, he rested a hand on Bakugo's arm. He flinched under the touch, but he didn't pull away. I'm sorry. Whatever. Same. It's whatever. Clearly it's not. Alright, pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. Stop stating the obvious. The boy remained in his position, refusing to budge. Carefully, Midoriya made Bakugo release the death grip he had on his shirt. Words were so useless with Bakugo. He was a man of action. Yes. Touch was something sensitive for him. Midoriya knew that, so he was careful with it. Kachan? Midoriya quietly stroked his blonde hair. Wait, why are you touching him? Watching as Bakugo's breath calmed, watching the tears stop. Sorry, Bakugo whispered. I didn't mean to cry. Bakugo slowly shifted around, facing Midoriya and curling around him. Oh. With great caution, Bakugo reached out and took Midoriya's right hand, running his fingers along the scars. It sent a shiver up his spine, but he allowed it. Deku? Yeah? Oh. Do you really think I don't care about you? Oh, this is getting really mushy. I don't know why I decided to read fluff. Oh god, it's too much for me. I'm gonna have an overload. I don't do mushy. I don't do it. It's cute to read about or whatever, but like seriously, don't say cute stuff to me. I don't like it and it makes me uncomfortable. Midoriya jolted, his eyes wide as he stared at Bakugo. Bakugo's eyes wandered to the blatant scar on his shoulder. A quick glance toward the tank had ridden up slowly to see the edges of the scar on his torso. I know you care, Kachan. You made that clear, but sometimes it's the little things. I don't expect the small gestures. I'm not used to them. I know you care, but with stuff like this, it's hard to believe. Bakugo finished for him, letting go of his hand and opting to curl his fist into his chest. The recoil hurt Midoriya's heart, but he couldn't blame him. He sighed, stroking the blonde's locks once more. It seemed to bring them both peace. They were no longer adverse to touch, which was an unbelievable improvement for them. Touch came easier than words for them, so a gentle hand on a shoulder or a pat on the back wasn't abnormal. Midoriya was starting to doze off, but Bakugo began to tremble once again, aggressively rubbing his eyes. Kachan? Just ignore me, damn nerd. Ugh, he's such a Taurus. We both know I can't. Bakugo choked out a laugh before pulling away. Back turned to Midoriya once more. His tense shoulders shook with every sob, and Midoriya was desperate to make them stop. He hated seeing the blonde in pain. It made him sick to his stomach. Come on, Kachan, talk to me. I'm bad at it. We both are. However, Midoriya didn't make Bakugo turn around. He simply shifted, resting his head on Bakugo's shoulder. Save for a few shudders, the blonde's breathing began to grow steady, lulling Midoriya to sleep. Midoriya felt himself being jolted slightly, but he didn't bother to open his eyes. His head was being moved to a pillow, a blanket being pulled over his shoulders. With a sigh, he snuggled into the pillow, not even remembering where he was. He'd be easy to kidnap. Comfy now, Deku? Oh yeah, he was with Kachan. A rough hand held his cheek lightly, warm and safe despite the power it held. I'm sorry if I made you hate me, Bakugo whispered, trying. See, it's so much easier to tell someone something when they're sleeping because they can't actually hear you. I'm trying really, Deku. I'll keep trying until I make it up to you. You don't have to forgive me though. I don't expect you to. I'm literal shit, and maybe one day we can be friends again. Oh, they're getting mushy. Midoriya woke up. Oh no! Midoriya suddenly felt awake, but he decided against opening his eyes, waiting to see if Bakugo continued. He didn't. Instead, an arm wrapped around his waist, holding him loosely. Slowly, he raised his own hand to pull Bakugo's head to his chest, pressing his nose to the top of it. I already want to be friends, gotcha. He gasped sharply, shooting back and getting as far away from Midoriya as he could on the bed. Hands clasped over his mouth. Bakugo froze like a deer in headlights. Before he could scream anything out, Midoriya opened his arms, silently asking him to return. My turn to talk. Bakugo obeyed, hesitantly, allowing himself to be wrapped in strong, scarred arms. They felt nice, like home. I don't hate you, Kachan. You should. I couldn't truly hate you if I tried. Trust me, I did. The blonde let out a whimper, burying his face in Midoriya's chest. He was devastated to know it, even if he had expected it. You're a part of me, whether we like it or not. I don't remember life without you. I hated your actions, your words, but I never hated you. I don't know where you got that idea. It just made sense to me, I guess. I hate me. I thought you did too. Relatable! Midoriya held him tighter, as if his grip could remove all of his pain. Bakugo was curled into himself, just being held. They felt cozy, and it was an intimate moment that they never thought could happen. Deku? Will I ever be able to make it up to you? He hummed in thought, growing drowsy once more as he pressed his face into the blonde's soft spikes. You don't have to. It's behind us now, Kachan. I want to keep moving forward, and move forward with you. I don't deserve that. Such a shame. You don't get to choose. We're friends, bastard. Bakugo let out a brief laugh at that, finally wrapping his arms around Midoriya and letting his body relax. He wasn't at all satisfied. Not yet. He wasn't done atoning. Deku was a naturally kind person, but that didn't mean he should just quit. He wanted to be a friend Deku needed, one he wanted, even if that nerd insisted he already was. Night, Deku, he breathed, letting his eyes slip shut and falling asleep at last. Midoriya lied there for a few minutes, opting to stroke Bakugo's hair. He knew Bakugo didn't like to get things without earning them, and he supposed Bakugo didn't think he earned his forgiveness. Bullshit. Literal bullshit. He absentmindedly stroked the scar on his left shoulder of his companion. It was still fresh, and it still made his heart ache. Good night, Katsuki. I love you. He may have imagined it as he fell asleep, but he heard the softest voice whisper music to his ears. I love you too, Izuku. That was cute though. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it was cute. It's very hard for me to read anything that's not like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a mushy person. It's very fluffy, so it was very, very cute, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember, give it a big old thumbs up. If you're new, you can subscribe and click the bell. My mom is vacuuming. If you're new, you can subscribe and click the bell. That way you get notified every single time a new video comes out. We're gonna hit 10K soon, so once we do, I think I'm going to start reading my story, maybe? I don't know. I might start reading Moonlight. It's a Klance story for all my Klance babies out there. If you want me to, if not. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Remember to stay safe, do your homework, and drink water, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!